Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week on Today's Homeowner, we're picking up the paintbrush to add some color to a teenager's attic rec room and show you how easy painting can be.
I don't tape, I don't even drop cloth.
Confidence, excellent. We're just wasting our time putting cloth down. Jaime and Sydney Betbeze love old houses.
Well, we're both very involved in preservation here in town, and this is my hometown, and I dragged Sydney here, but one of the ways I was able to convince her to move was all the beautiful homes and the history that we have.
We've lived in this house for 9 years, just about, and what drew us to the house actually was the neighborhood. We wanted to be in this particular area, a historic neighborhood, and it's got the best houses in the area. We gutted the kitchen and we gutted all the bathrooms in the house. And so those were the major renovations that we've done in the house. And then cosmetic work, just changing all the paint colors except for the teen room.
The teen room is a third-floor attic that was converted to a living space by a previous owner, but it lacks the pizzazz it needs to make it a hangout for their daughter Virginia and her friends.
It's just going to be a room where, like, my friends and I hang out and watch Netflix and that kind of thing.
I understand that you're the artistic one. Is right? The artistic one, does that describe you?
Yeah, probably. My room is completely covered with artwork.
Yeah?
That's pretty much what I want to be when I grow up.
Nice.
So.
All right, so Mom won't let you have an art studio. Have you asked her why she won't let you?
Well, supposedly I'm supposed to share the room.
What if we could convince her that it could be part studio?
I would like that.
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
We're going to work on that.
Well, the room itself is great. It's got these great alcoves, all the gables of the house just lend itself to all of these neat little nooks and crannies. And what we envision up there are just some nice trundle beds, some furniture you can jump on if you wanted to, something that's not antique, something that's fun. Everything in the house is hardwood floor, everything in the house is antiques. We just want something fun for her to be able to lounge on and have a good time.
Hello,
Hi.
Sydney, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good, I'm doing great, doing well. So, painting a third story
Yes.
sounds like a lot of stairs.
Let's head up.
All right, great. Now, I bet you've been up and down these stairs quite a bit.
Just a little, every once in a while. All right, and finally, we've made it.
All right. Oh, yeah, what a great space.
Yeah.
Good storage space, but it's too much room just to use for that.
Exactly. So it's this nice big area, and what I see is, with your help, is transforming it into an area that kids can come have sleepovers up here. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, TVs and computers.
And I understand that you're quite a painter yourself.
Well, I've picked up a brush and I can do some cutting in.
Okay,
So-
good, good. Well, we'll enlist you in helping us with this. We'll get
Great,
everything
great.
covered up because the floor is in great shape.
Yes.
And then, heck, we can get this thing done in just a couple days.
That sounds fabulous. I'm
Sounds
ready.
Perfect. Now it's time to nail down those colors.
Is that too dark, or what do you think? I need your help with
I
that.
think that'll be good though, with the lighter, having, you know, the whole room won't be too dark
Right.
overall because you'll be bouncing it with the
Right.
the lighter
It's just
color.
a highlight color.
All right, awesome. Did you want another color, or is two good?
Someone had suggested maybe doing like a sort of a tone-on-tone sort of stripe somewhere. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that would be cool. So you want a gray color?
I want a gray. That's a
want
nice
like a
new
lighter?
neutral. Yes, we're over the beige, so we want a gray. Yeah,
Like that one?
These are nice. This has a little bit of a kind of greenish to it. Maybe. Are you seeing green? I'm seeing green.
Yeah, I'm seeing green in these two. Not
I
so
like
much in this
those.
one, but.
I like it.
Now, what about your other color? Like a complementary color?
You know, we've got the window with the blues and the.
Yeah.
There's a kind of pinkish, but if we had more towards the purple, I think kind of grayish purples might look good.
So while Chelsea goes to pick up the paint, Sydney and I get started clearing out the room and covering up. I don't know how neat of a painter you are.
I'm pretty darn neat, man.
All
I don't
right.
tape. I don't
All
even
right.
drop cloth. Half the time.
Confidence, excellent. We're just wasting our time putting cloth down.
No, it's for show.
Most people use an empty coffee can to soak their paintbrushes before cleaning. And that's a great idea unless you just drop the brushes in the can, because if you do that, the weight of the brush will bend the bristles, and once they dry like that, the brush is no good. You might as well toss it out. So here's what I did. I took a wire coat hanger and I cut it slightly longer than the diameter of the can, and then I set the brush in the can and raised it about an inch off the bottom of the can and made a mark where it crossed the wire. Then I drilled a hole through the handle, slightly larger than the diameter of the wire. Now all you need to do is push the wire through the hole, thread it through the hole, and drop it into the can. As you can see, the bristles are up off the bottom of the can, and then you can pour in your solvent. In this case, that's latex paint, so we're going to use some warm water, pour right in there. You don't want to get the metal ferrule on the brush wet, but you just want to cover, there you go, so you cover all the bristles. You let that soak, and now you can go back and finish cleaning up the rest of the job. Come back, and that brush will be ready for thorough cleaning as soon as you pull it out of the can.
Sydney Betbeze wants to jazz up this converted attic space for her teenage daughter and her friends. While I've been putting together a plan with Sydney, Alan has been trying to find out what her daughter Virginia wants from the room.
But basically, this is going to be your space, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you want up there? I'm thinking dragons, whatever.
I really don't know.
And now it's time to get to work on the drywall repair.
Well, Sydney, the walls are really in pretty good shape. This seems like the worst part of it, but it almost
Definitely.
seems like a little bit of like settling, not unusual for this.
Well, this actually isn't settling. This was neighborhood kids and my own coming and sliding down this and their feet landing here. They thought this was a toy or
that's
a slide.
fun. That's
Well,
fun.
it might have been fun, but they did a number on the wall.
Did they tell you about it?
They did admit it, but can you help fix it?
Oh yeah, that's no problem. I'll show you how.
Okay.
And I'll let you do a few of these other pieces.
Sounds good.
All right, let's grab this stuff. Of course, the first step in any type of paint job is to make sure that you get all of the defects out of the wall that you possibly can. Now, a lot of times you can use regular lightweight spackling. That works great if you have a small hole like this nail hole, but when you have something like this, you really have to use a joint compound. A lot of different types. There's some that dries really, really slow, like overnight, but to speed this one up, we're using a quick setting 20-minute type of joint compound. The pros call it a 20-minute mud, and all I'll have to do is put a little powder in here, mix a little water in it, and we can be putting a second coat on this within 20 minutes.
Once the joint compound is mixed, it will not only fill voids, it will also act as an adhesive. In the places where we're bridging a gap, we'll embed some paper drywall tape in the mud to reinforce it and prevent the cracks from reoccurring. Once she's seen how it's done, Sydney wants to try her hand at drywall repair.
Look at that. It's beautiful. That's great.
Not really. Y'all can fix that, right?
Yeah, we can fix that.
While the big repairs dry, I'm touching up the little flaws all over the room. Meanwhile, Chelsea has returned with the paint they selected. She and Sydney are applying it to some self-adhesive Sure swatch sheets. When the paint dries, they can stick these sheets to the walls to finalize their decisions about what color goes where. Now, once all the joint compound is dry, we're ready to sand.
Hey, look here. Great timing here. Perfect. Okay, little sanding time. And I got it just in time. I just got that fixed up for you. That's one of your favorite tools there. So if you want to start sanding back over this way, I can give you a few tips on how to use this thing. Now, it's really kind of tricky because it pivots so much, but it is so much easier than just using your hand. So if you just keep it flat, and then just get it where it feels comfortable to you, you don't have to bear down on it too much. You really want to sand the whole entire surface of the wall, just lightly, as well as the ceiling. It seems like it'll take forever, especially with that kind of help you have over there, but that's okay. But if you hear you. But if you'll just lightly sand it, just take it easy and keep up where you are, and just go all the way around.
Okay, great.
And I will start doing a little caulking over here.
All right.
All this paint preparation may seem excessive, but if you're going to put in the time, effort, and money to paint a room, you might as well do it right. Once the sanding is complete, everything gets wiped down with a damp rag to remove the dust, and we're ready to paint.
Alan's already getting started over here. He's not good for much, but he can mix paint pretty well.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I've seen actually colors, even though it's the same color, it'll be off by half a shade from can to can. So I want to mix these 2 gallons to make sure they're consistent.
And I know you want to do the cut in. You don't like to roll. You like
Right.
to do all of the cut in and trim out. So I got you several brushes to choose from. What do you think?
Well, you have a nice selection, but I think I'm going to use my Old Faithful here.
Wow, I thought that was a dust brush.
Wow.
No,
Well, I'm
it's
gonna
for cutting
make it a little easier for you. I love this, one of my favorite gadgets. Just stick that on the edge of the can, take your brush, and it's a magnet, holds it in place.
I like it.
All right,
All right.
we're all set up. Do a little mixing. We'll get all this ready to go.
Sydney says she's a pretty experienced painter, so she prefers to do the cut-in freehand without any masking tape.
I'm ready for some wisecracks.
You've got a wet brush in your hand. Nobody's going to say anything.
And she seems to have a pretty good handle on it.
So it looks like you don't need any tape.
No, you don't think?
Pretty good, respectable. But I can see you need a ladder though.
With all of these hands, the work goes pretty quickly, which can be a good thing, unless...
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm painting the wrong wall.
Gee whiz,
Look at me, y'all. I painted the wrong wall.
Gee whiz.
You just love the color so much. I was like, put it everywhere. What am I doing? Why are y'all letting me do that? Oh my gosh, y'all.
We've worked with a lot of rookies. It's not uncommon.
Don't film that, Brad.
Despite the miscues, soon we're ready to start applying the light gray that'll cover most of the surfaces.
Ooh, Sydney, I like it up against the purple too.
It's good.
Yeah, you're gonna like it.
And when Virginia gets home from school, she gets a sneak peek at what her room will look like once it's complete.
So what do you think? You like the purple?
Yeah.
In fact, Alan draws her into the chaos by throwing out a little challenge.
Now, you have to create something using those 3 little marks.
While we finish the first coat, why don't you check out this week's best new product?
Now, if you want your painting projects to look like a professional did it, you need to do what the professionals do, and they take the time to prep the surface, and they also take time to tape off. Now, everybody hates to tape off, but you need to protect that so you don't have a lot of cleanup. Take a look at this device by 3M. This is the Hand Masker 3000, baby. And what this does is it holds not only your painter's tape, but if you want to cover say with paper or with plastic, it also holds that paper into place as well. Now there's 2 spindles. First of all, you pop your tape in over here, and then on this spindle, you can either put paper up to 18 inches wide, or you can put the plastic film on here that then folds down and can drape and cover the entire wall. The beauty of this device is that it marries the 2, tape and paper or plastic, perfectly, so you're not having to struggle with putting that on. Once you've got it in place there, all you gotta do, I'm just gonna push this in place, and look how quickly I can work down the wall.
We're giving Sydney's bland attic room a makeover so her daughter Virginia will have a quiet place to paint and a cool place to hang out with her friends. We've made all of our repairs and started getting some color on the walls. We even gave Virginia a chance to exercise some creativity in the process. So at the start of day 2, we've got some momentum going to finish this thing up.
We had a great day yesterday and were able to put 1 coat on all of the walls and the ceiling, actually put a 2nd coat on these walls because later on we'll be painting some really cool stripes on that. That'll be a great accent wall when you walk right up the stairs. Now, you know, a lot of paint jobs will take you more than 1 day, so you know you hate to spend a lot of time cleaning all of your brushes and rollers. Well, here's a few tricks here. You can use some of the cases that we found here that'll seal it up real nicely with your brush as well as your roller. Those are pretty cool. Or the old tried and true methods of just using a Ziploc baggie or a plastic shopping bag that you can wrap your roller or your brushes in. You can even put either one of these in a refrigerator to even slow that drying down even more. And it's so important that you clean your brushes thoroughly when you do clean them, or you'll end up with something like that.
This morning, our priority is getting the 2nd coat complete. As you might expect, it goes faster than the first one did, and soon we're ready to add those stripes that Sydney wanted.
We're going to measure from the corner to there, from this corner to here.
Right.
We want our stripe to start in the corner, and because we want the stripes to be the same size,
Right.
we need to take whatever this number is and start dividing and find the right number, all
Yes,
right?
okay.
So if you will, take me to that corner there.
Okay.
So after a few measurements,
95 even.
Alan figures out how his calculator works, and they come up with a number.
Shall we do that? 7 3/4?
That sounds like a great,
stripes?
yeah.
Once the intervals are lightly marked on the baseboard, they're using a 4-foot level to create a plumb line up from that point.
But if the house is off, and the lines are plumb and it looks funny, then you have to just stand at an angle.
This is the only way to ensure perfectly plumb parallel lines, since the corners and edges of the walls often waver in and out a bit.
When you put your tape on, rather than pull out a really long piece, we're going to do just short pieces.
Okay.
If you do a really long piece, it has a tendency to want to warp on you. So again, this is our gray, so we want our pencil mark on the inside. Just like that. And then you come back with a putty knife, what's called burnishing it, and we're going to do it again on the gray side. Just press it down.
All right.
All right.
We're using delicate surface tape for this application because the light gray paint on the walls is fresh. A more aggressive tape might peel up that color. This stuff is also designed to react with the water in the new paint, so it forms a barrier along the edge. So hopefully we won't have any bleed through on our lines.
I might end up making this the adult retreat.
Ooh, you're going to have some unhappy people if you do that.
Once all the stripes are masked, we can start applying the darker gray paint. Even though there's tape around the edges, you don't want to glob the paint on there. A smooth, even application with a good brush or something like this small cigar roller is really what you need. Let's see what we've got here. And you peel it back just like this, like 180. That's a good clean line.
Yes, looks great.
Okay, there's one. You know, some of the tape, it'll bleed over a little bit and just really takes away from the overall look of it.
This looks like a great line, though.
Mm-hmm.
Comes off easily.
Perfect. Now, I'll give you an idea. I think it's going to be a nice, bold look.
Absolutely. I love it.
All right, let's take the rest of it off there.
Great.
I think this is my favorite part of the job because it gives such an immediate sense of gratification. Each strip of tape that's removed reveals a crisp new line. Oh, it's neat.
That looks awesome.
Neat. And if I was you, I would tell people that you did that by hand.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say anything about tape.
But what if they see the show? They're all going to watch the show.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You got me.
It looks so good. I love it.
And within just a few minutes, we're peeling off the last of the tape, just in time for Virginia to see the finished work.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's quite different.
Virginia's not very talkative, but I think it's safe to say she likes her new space.
It's very different and it's very neat and I like it.
It's neat and you like it?
Yeah.
All right, good job. Good job.
The most common questions I hear from people about painting have to do with primer. When do you use it and what kind do you use? Primers chiefly serve two purposes. They promote bonding and they mask color or stains. Now, anytime you have new wood or drywall, the first coating on it should be a quality primer. This seals the pores of the materials and at the same time creates a surface that is ideal for later coats to bond with. Primers aren't made to be durable, but they do help make the more durable coating stick. Stain blocking primers do just what the name says. They block stains created by wood resins, water, and other materials from bleeding through both themselves and the top coat. If you're painting a ceiling that has had a leak in the past, primer, preferably one that is shellac-based, is a must to prevent those brown water stains from reappearing in the new coating. Sydney's attic space was bright and spacious enough, but not exactly the exciting destination a teenage girl wants. So we not only replaced the dated color palette, we added that pop she wanted with purple accent ceilings in all the alcoves and in the center of the room. The color fits right in since it was taken from the stained glass window in the front of the room. Then, with a little tape and time, we created the tone-on-tone stripe pattern that forces you to take a second look, just to make sure you're paying attention. It's amazing what a transformation a few hours and a few gallons of paint can make. Well, Sydney, I bet you're writing a list for everything that you need to furnish the room.
I am.
Well, I'll tell you what, you didn't even need us to help you on this painting. You're so good at painting, you could have done this whole thing yourself.
I wouldn't have done this size project without some help, for sure. And I would never do the striping without some expert guidance.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot easier than any of us thought it would be. It really turned out well, and what a great focal point on this whole back part of the room.
It looks great.
Okay, when you brought the colors in, I wasn't sure about the purple ceiling, but
growing on me. It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, nice pop.
Yeah, it is a nice pop. You did a great job, and you can see by doing just a little bit of work in a home like this and be able to, spend some time picking the right colors and make sure that you do some bold things, put some personality in that room by picking a bold color here, doing a few of the stripes so that the room that you paint is distinctively your own. Hey, thanks so much for being with us this week. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week right here on Today's Homeowner.
But you could have supplies on this side too. You could have supply things going behind you so that when you're painting or whatever, you can just reach and have them at the ready. Sound good?
Yeah.
Maybe Santa needs to bring you an easel.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.